All right, so I wanted to share sort of an alpha version of my copy brief generator tool. Um, I've been working quite a bit on this, and it's probably not 100% ready, but I just want to ship it out and see what people think about it. It's definitely usable. There's definitely a lot of stuff that I want to do to it, some error handling and things like that, but definitely in a usable state. So I figure let's go ahead and share this out and see what people think about it. So when you get the sheet, you'll need to make a copy of it. So you're just going to go to File, make a copy. You can change the name if you want. It's going to come with a app script associated with it. All right. So now I've got that copy created. I can close the original version. And then there's a few setup things that we need to do. So first thing is in this template setup tab. First thing is we need to authorize the script to run. So I'm gonna go click me to run authorization. Hit continue, select my account, and then it's going to come up with this app hasn't verified message, basically because I haven't submitted any of the script to Google for verification. I intend to do that. I just got to go through that process. But in the meantime, you'll just have to get around it. So you're going to click on Advanced and then go to Copy Brief Generator, Unsafe, and it's going to tell you all the things. So in this generator, it's going to be accessing your Google Drive. It's going to create those copy briefs on your Google Drive, and then it's going to edit your spreadsheets as well. So you just need to allow that, and then connect to the OpenAI API. All right. So then next is you need to enter your API key. So you get that API key from OpenAI. I think I have some information here on how to get that. So you go to OpenAI, click on your avatar, select View API keys, and then create a new secret key. And when you do that, you do get like a trial version to start. So I think they give you $5 worth of credit. If you go, that which should give you a lot. If you go beyond that, then you'll just have to set up a billing account. But for now, you can play with it with $5. I'm gonna paste my API key in here. All right, and then the last thing, or this next thing I need to do in the setup is I need to create a folder in my Google Drive and create like the template doc inside of my Google Drive, the copy brief template. So I'm just going to click this button, and so now inside of my Google Drive. All right, so inside of my Google Drive, create this folder and then this copy brief template. You won't have two templates in here. It's because I've already done this, so delete one out. But it'll have this folder and then this copy brief template for you to for the tool to use. So you can see in this template, it's going to pull in some information like page name, target keyword, title tag. I'll show sort of how this all fits and what a completed copy brief looks like here in a moment. All right, so that's like the basic setup. Actually, you're 100% ready to go right now. There's some other things that you can do in terms of strategy, Joe. Strategy, though, input. So, like the way that I tried to build this is, I didn't want to just say, hit a button, create all the copy briefs you want. Like I wanted to have those copy briefs be context dependent, depending on your strategy, your business goals, things like that. And so to start, I have a few strategy inputs that you can add to this document. So the first thing is to add page types, the page types that are on your website, adding those to this document, and then organizing them by the searcher intent. So informational, navigational, commercial, transactional. So for each one of these, you would add in or you can remove from this list the page types associated with your website. Next, you'll take those page types and you want to copy them in this first column, and then you'll want to create a title tag and meta description template for each one of those page types. So if you have a page type in here, it should have an associated title tag and meta description template. So you can, like I said, just copy all the page types that you have in here, paste them into this page type column, and then just start making title tag and meta description templates. And use like these brackets as like sort of variables or placeholders for so try not to like make them too specific. Wherever you can, make placeholders. Next is personas. So in this target persona action map, I have the name of the persona, a description of the persona, and the target action. Target action being like what do they want to do, and what do we want them to do. And if you don't have a persona, you can use something like ChatGPT and say, "Hey, create me a persona for XYZ brand" or something like that. But if you do have personas, you can put those in there, and you can put multiple personas. If you have multiple personas in here, you can put multiple personas. And then the last thing I have is just like a target word count map. So this is based on page type. So for every page type, what's sort of a target word count that you want to have? All right, so that's the basic setup. And then from here, we can now start running the tool. So first thing is, when you're running the tool, you'll need to provide some basic information. So keyword, and then the name of the page that's going to be targeting that keyword. So I just got two that I'm going to run through here: homeowners insurance and homeowners insurance cost. The page name is going to be what is a homeowners insurance, how much does homeowners insurance cost, and then I select that persona so that this list should update depending on what you put in that persona list. So I select the right persona, and then I select the appropriate page type. So this will be actually, maybe we say this is a general blog post. And so select the page type and select the persona for each keyword. And like I said, add in the page name. Search intent override, I'll talk about in a second. Once you get that basic information, we can start gathering some information. So the way that this is set up is that I have a bunch of things that I want to capture that I can use to create the copy brief. So there's some basic lookup data, some basic data like the persona and stuff like that. But then search intent, searcher goals, searcher questions, and these all stack on top of each other, right? So you get your search intent, and then searcher goals is based off the search intent. Searcher questions are based off the search intent and the searcher goals. Title tag is based off of all these, right? So on and so forth. And so we're just going to go down. And so you're going to go down the list and you're going to click each button separately. And each button is corresponding to a script that makes a call to OpenAI with the appropriate prompt. I'll show you what the prompts look like here in a bit. But you'll just want to go in order. So first things first, we'll start off with this get lookup data. And this is doing just a lookup of the tabs the strategy tab. So it's pulling in word count, persona, description, target action. Don't worry about it. It says no search intent for now. That'll change here in a second. But that's just doing a basic lookup. Next, this is our first OpenAI ChatGPT call. So get search intent. So again, it's taking the keyword and the page name and the persona and it's saying, hey, here's what I think the search intent is. And so now for those two terms, we now have the search intent for those two terms. Again, so now we see like this has changed from no search intent to potential page types. This potential page types is if you want to know which page type you should choose, this just gives you a list of potential page types. But so search intent, so it's identify these search intents as commercial. So homeowners insurance and homeowners insurance costs is are commercial terms. That probably makes sense. But what if we were like, no, that's off. It's actually an informational term. Then we can override that. So search intent override is where we do that. So you come in, select the appropriate search intent, and then you can go to copy brief tools here at the top, and then fix search intent. So it's only going to go through the ones where we have something in the column. So here, where we've changed this to informational, it only updated this one. The one where we didn't have the search intent override, it did not adjust. So that's how we can adjust it. But I actually think commercial works best. So I'm just going to sort of run this search intent again. And pull that back in. All right. So that's search intent. And now, again, we're just going to go down the list. So goals, So these are what are the goals of the searcher. And again, all this gets incorporated in some form of fashion, either directly or indirectly, into the copy brief. Searcher questions. All right. Title tag. So it's going to take what's in my title tag map as like a template, and then try to build title tags. It's not a. I have the prompt to where it's there's some room for flexibility. I didn't want them to just do exactly what's in the title tag template. Just sort of use it as a guideline. Suggested headings. So what headings should we have on the page? And then from there, I want some unique questions. So we have the searcher questions, which is like, what is most searchers looking for? And then I want some unique questions, like what are some new questions that I can answer that probably no one else is answering, excuse me. Firsthand experience. So this is sort of in alignment with like Google's new guidelines around EAT and helpful content. I want to get ideas for like how I can add firsthand experience to my page. So I'll show you what that looks like here in a second. So this would be like the best practices I follow to research different homeowners insurance companies, or let's see, our top tips for comparing homeowners insurance costs, right? Like first hand perspectives. So you can like pick a few out of those and add them to your content. And then I want to build that base. I want to build a base outline based off of all that information. So this might want to take a little bit. This one, the outlines, is normally the longest one. It's a pretty long script. It's basically taking all that information from the previous and pulling that in. Awesome. So now we've got some base outlines for both of these. And then this last one here, this isn't something that you have to do, but what I found is like sometimes for a keyword, there may be some ambiguity. So, for example, maybe there's an app called Homeowners Insurance App. It's a separate brand, separate name. It's just an app that helps you compare homeowners insurance. But they don't realize that ChatGPT doesn't understand that. Maybe ChatGPT thinks homeowners insurance app is someone searching for that is searching for to learn how to build a homeowners insurance app, not to download the homeowners insurance app. And so, what you could do in this scenario is you can add additional instructions and say homeowners insurance app refers to a app in the app store called homeowners insurance app, right? And then you can apply that to that row and then go back and go through these things. And then now you'll have GPT will have that additional context and be able to update that. So that's what that is. You don't need to have it in there. It's just an extra sort of layer to your prompts. All right, so we've got all the data in here. We are ready to create copy briefs. So a couple of other things real quick before we do. Sometimes what happens is, like, say you have a large keyword list somewhere and you copy paste it into here, right? But it throws off the formatting, like kind of makes it all look funky. Maybe like your columns are like red or something like that. I hate when that happens when I build a tool like that and then my tool gets all doesn't look good anymore. So I created this helper that's like fixed formatting that will go back and then adjust the formatting again. So that's one thing. I've told you about fixed search intent, and then this is the authorized scripts that we did in the beginning. But we're now ready to create copy briefs. So what should happen is we'll create a copy brief, and the URL should go into this column. So we'll go back to copy brief tools, generate briefs. That is done. We now have URLs for those copy briefs, and now if we actually just look in the folder, if we just refresh it, we've got the two copy briefs that we built. So what is homeowners insurance? How much does homeowners insurance cost? So, and then if we look at the briefs, so let's pick one out. We've gone from these like placeholders, right, to actual content. So page name, target keyword, page type, title tag, and then we got the search intent, those searcher goals. We pull out those searcher questions, and then we've got like a base outline, some unique questions, and then some ideas for firsthand experiences. So yeah, it allows you to do that in bulk. So one caveat is I've tested this out with probably I think at max probably 30 pages, 30 ideas, 30 opportunities, and I mean it takes a while, but it can get done. But the main thing is these scripts have either a 6 minute timeout or a 30-minute timeout. The 6 minute timeout is for just regular Gmail accounts, personal Gmail accounts. So if you're using your personal Gmail account, each script run is going to be 6 minutes. That's why I had to separate them out. So that way, if I try to combine this all in one script, it would take way too long. So I had to break it out into individual sections. So each time you press a button, if you're using a personal Gmail account, you got 6 minutes for that script to run before it will time out. Or if you're on like a workspace account, a Google Workspace account, like an internal company account, then you get 30 minutes. But like I said, for me, at Mac, like to me, 10 is great, 20 is okay, 30 you're pushing it. So for me, I would stick to probably about 20 at a time, maybe for now. But like I said, you can do 20 at a time. If imagine doing 20 copy briefs in, maybe 15 minutes max versus trying to do 20 copy briefs that'll take you days to do 20 copy briefs, maybe hours at least. And so definitely some speed gains from that perspective. Just be patient if you're doing, 20 or more. It's definitely going to take some time to do that. Even if you're doing 10 or more, it takes some time. So be patient with it. But other than that, yeah, it works great. Let me know if you think. So one other thing, there's probably some bugs. There's probably some errors. Actually, there are, I'm sure. Like I said, this is an alpha version. So occasionally, like you may see an error pop up when you run one of the scripts. If you do see an error, 9 times out of 10, you just have to rerun the script and it'll do it. It's just for whatever reason, like it didn't get all the information that it needed before it ran. So just know that you may see that you may see a handful, like an error or two pop up as you're going through this process. Just rerun the script that you were on, and typically it'll run the second time. So, but yeah, love to get your feedback. Let me know if you have any questions or feedback, or if there's anything I can do to help. Thanks.